Hello and welcome to this lesson on learning congruent triangles. By the time you finish this video, you will be able to identify when two triangles are congruent by recognizing equal sides and angles. Understand the 5 triangle congruence rules: side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and right angle, hypotenuse, side. And apply congruence rules to prove that two triangles are congruent in geometric diagrams. Let's get started. Let's begin. Slowly and clearly understand what congruent triangles really mean. Look at the 2 triangles in the diagram. At first glance, they may look different. One is tilted, the other is upright. But here is the key idea. Congruent triangles are exactly the same in shape and exactly the same in size. So even if a triangle is rotated, flipped, or moved, as long as the size and shape do not change, they are still congruent. Now let's break this down carefully. First, same shape. This means the triangles have the same angles, arranged in the same way. Second, same size. This means all the side lengths are equal, not bigger, not smaller, exactly the same. Now let's go deeper. When we say corresponding sides are equal, we mean each side in one triangle matches a specific side in the other triangle. So if one side is 5 centimeters, the matching side must also be 5 centimeters. Now the same idea applies to angles. Corresponding angles are equal. So if one angle is 60 degrees, the matching angle must also be 60 degrees. Now here is an important idea. The word corresponding means matching positions. So we are not just comparing random sides or angles, we are comparing the correct pairs. Now take a moment to visualize this. Imagine picking up one triangle and placing it exactly on top of the other. If they line up perfectly with all sides and angles matching, then the triangles are congruent. That is the test. Now let's summarize the key idea. Congruent triangles have the same shape, the same size, equal corresponding sides, and equal corresponding angles. This is the foundation for everything we will do next, because once we know triangles are congruent, we can use that to prove many other results in geometry. Now let's explore the first 3 rules for proving that triangles are congruent, and take this slowly so each one becomes clear. At the top, we see 3 important rules. Let's start with the first one, SSS, which stands for side, side, side. This means all 3 corresponding sides in one triangle are equal to all 3 corresponding sides in the other triangle. So imagine this. If one triangle has sides of length 5, 6, and 7, and another triangle also has sides of 5, 6, and 7, then those triangles must be congruent. Why? Because once all 3 sides are fixed, the shape is completely determined. There is no way to change the triangle without changing a side. So SSS guarantees congruence. Now let's move to the second rule. SAS, side, angle, side. This means 2 sides and the angle between them are equal. Now here is something very important. The angle must be the included angle, meaning the angle between the 2 given sides. So if you have 2 sides and the angle between them is the same in both triangles, then the triangles are congruent. Think of it like this. The 2 sides form a hinge, and the angle locks the shape into place. So once those 3 pieces match, the triangle is fixed. Now let's move to the third rule, ASA, angle, side, angle. This means 2 angles, and the side between them are equal. Again, the side must be the included side, the one in between the 2 angles. Now here is the key idea. If 2 angles are equal, the third angle is automatically fixed, because the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So once we know 2 angles and the side between them, the triangle is completely determined. Now take a moment to compare these 3 rules. SSS uses all 3 sides. SAS uses 2 sides and the included angle. ASA uses 2 angles and the included side. Each rule gives just enough information to completely fix the triangle. And that is why they prove congruence. So remember this clearly. We are not just looking for equal parts. We are looking for enough information to guarantee the triangles are exactly the same. In the next part, we will complete the remaining 2 rules and bring all 5 together. Now let's complete the set with the final 2 rules for congruent triangles and bring all 5 together. Let's start with the 4th rule, AAS, angle, angle, side. This means 2 angles and a side that is not between them are equal. So unlike ASA, the side here is not the included side. Now you might wonder, how does this still work? Here is the key idea. If two angles are known, then the third angle is automatically fixed, because all triangle angles add up to 180 degrees. So even if the side is not between the two angles, we still have enough information to completely determine the triangle. That is why AAS still proves congruence. Now let's move to the final rule. RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, side. This rule is only used for right-angled triangles. So first we must have a right angle, 90 degrees. Now look at the triangle. The longest side, opposite the right angle, is called the hypotenuse. The other two sides are called the adjacent and opposite. Now the rule says this: if two right-angled triangles have the same hypotenuse and one other corresponding side equal, then the triangles are congruent. Now think about why this works. Once the right angle is fixed and the hypotenuse is fixed and one side is fixed, the triangle cannot change shape. It is completely determined. So RHS guarantees congruence for right-angled triangles. Now let's step back and look at all 5 rules together. SSS, all 3 sides. SAS, 2 sides and the included angle. ASA, 2 angles and the included side. AAS, 2 angles and a non-included side. RHS, right angle, hypotenuse, and 1 side. These are the only 5 rules you need. So remember this clearly. To prove triangles are congruent, you must show enough matching information using one of these rules. Once you identify the correct rule, the proof becomes much easier and more structured. This completes the full set of congruence rules. Now, let's dive into some exam-style practice question. You can pause the video and try yourself. Question 1. MNOP is a rectangle. MP is a diagonal of the rectangle. Prove that triangle MOP is congruent to triangle MNP. This is a 4-mark question, so we must show clear reasoning step by step and justify each part. First, look at the shape. We are given a rectangle. Now remember a key property of rectangles. All angles in a rectangle are 90 degrees. So immediately we can identify 2 angles. Angle MOP is 90 degrees, and angle MNP is also 90 degrees. So we can write angle MOP equals angle MNP equals 90 degrees. This earns 1 mark. Now let's look at the diagonal. MP is drawn across the rectangle. This diagonal forms 2 triangles, triangle MOP and triangle MNP. Now notice something important. MP is part of both triangles, so MP is a common side. But more specifically, since both triangles are right-angled, MP is the hypotenuse in both triangles. So we can say MP is the common hypotenuse. This earns another mark. Now let's find one more pair of equal sides. Look at MN and OP. These are opposite sides of the rectangle. And in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So we can say MN equals OP. This earns the 3rd mark. Now we have all the information we need. Let's summarize. Both triangles are right-angled. They share the same hypotenuse, MP, and they have one other equal side, MN equals OP. This matches the RHS rule, right angle, hypotenuse, side. So we can conclude, triangle MOP is congruent to triangle MNP by RHS. This earns the final mark. So the final statement is triangle MOP is congruent to triangle MNP by RHS. Now take a moment to reflect. We used properties of rectangles, identified equal angles, found a common hypotenuse, and matched one pair of sides. This is a classic congruence proof using RHS. So always look for right angles first, then check the hypotenuse and one more matching side. That completes the proof. Question 2. 2 identical ladders lean against a wall, forming 2 triangles. Triangle ABC and triangle ADC are formed. We are given that AB equals AD, AC is a common side, and angle BA equals angle CAD. We are asked to prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. This is a 3-mark question, so we need 3 clear statements and then a correct conclusion. First, let's identify the equal sides. We are told that ABE equals AD, so we can state AB equals AD. This earns 1 mark. Now look at the triangles carefully. Both triangles share the side AC, so AC is a common side. That means AC equals AC. This earns the 2nd mark. Now look at the angle between these 2 sides. We are told that angle BAC equals angle CAD, so the angle between AB and AC is equal to the angle between AD and AC. This is very important because it is the included angle. This earns the 3rd mark. Now let's summarize what we have. One side, AB equals AD. Second side, AC is common. Included angle, angle BAC equals angle CAD. This matches the SAS rule, side angle side. So we can conclude triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC by SAS. That is the final answer. Now take a moment to understand the structure. We identified two equal sides, then confirmed the included angle and applied the correct congruence rule. So always remember, for SAS, you need two sides and the angle between them. Once you see that pattern, the proof becomes straightforward.